Welcome back to another episode of Father Time with D'Amico and Blair, a podcast where dads talk about balancing fatherhood, relationships, careers, and passions. I'm D'Amico, the resident dad to a wackadoo toddler, and this week, Mayari is, in her mind, putting together sentences. Like she's having full-on conversations.
Those mumble conversation that they be having. It's kind of funny to see that. And I'm replay partner host of Motion Country Cousin Blair, aka Sir Winnie, and I'm the father to a 7-year-old who, as of recording, is now a 3rd grader. And we just been kicking it up all day today, dog. Last day of school, so it's been pretty fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, this week we are joined by Daniel Freitas, aka Frito, freelance videographer who's worked with the NBA, WNBA, MLS, AVP, and NFL. With a workload like that, I'm sure he's got some tips on how to balance all those things with being a dope-ass dad. Welcome to the show, Daniel. Appreciate you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is dope. It's Father Time. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Sure. We appreciate
Happy
you.
Friday.
Man. Yeah, happy Friday.
Yeah, happy
I think you're
Friday.
one of the first people to come in here and actually say that. We're leaving that in the recording. Happy Friday.
All right.
Daniel, welcome to the show. Appreciate you dropping in for some much needed father time.
Yes, sir.
For those of you that have not stalked his page or don't know who he is, I recommend you do so. My guy did a 30-day sprint of content creating of a daily vlog.
Oh, what is up, you guys? It is Frito. Today is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, day 15, day 16, day 17, day 18, day 19, day 20, day 21, day 22, day 23, day 24, day 25, day 26, day 27, day 28, day 29. All right, y'all, it is the last day of creating content every single day.
That's how I kind of saw his content, outside of the fact that he interacted with Ube's episode. So huge shout out to Ube for kind of linking this all together. But man, what prompted the 30-day sprint of content creating?
I just was creating content for other people for so long. And the reason why I fell in love with it is because I like to do it for myself. So I was like, I'm just going to choose a month and then just go for it, 30 days. And I had a decent amount of things going on in April. So I was like, let me just see how it goes. And then it was going smooth, like 7 to 10 days in. Then like that 18th day hits. And I'm like, okay, I still got a little bit longer to go.
I got halfway to go.
Sure.
Over halfway, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was cool. It was just some of the days where I wasn't out and about shooting stuff. I was like, all right, what can I do to then still make it somewhat of an interesting vlog? But it ended up being cool. I got a little baby now, so
yeah, congratulations,
just
man.
Yeah.
This is your first Father's Day, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
This will be my first Father's Day. Yeah, I'm excited.
We can jump right into the first question that we always have for our guest, Daniel. Who are your top 5 fictional fathers?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. But I got a little bit of a list. Nothing in any crazy order. But first one, Baloo from Jungle Book. That's my Jungle Book was my all-time favorite movie as a kid, and just the way him and Mowgli were just, 1 and 2, Mike and Pippin, that's the great combo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and just his just no worries lifestyle, but also has the biggest heart.
Sure.
Kind of try and live my life like that, just not try and take things too seriously, but also just pour my love into other people as much as I can.
That's awesome. That's a dope. I was not ever thinking that was going to be on a list. I'm very surprised by that pick.
Yeah.
That's an awesome pick.
It's like sometimes,
all right, well,
sometimes some of the fathers that we've been hearing are like pseudo dads. So it's dope to hear the coach aspect or stuff like that with some guests. So
yeah. Well, speaking of coach, I got number 2, Ted Lasso.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys
big Ted Lasso fans over here.
So I was gonna say, if you're familiar with the show, he goes through some stuff, but whenever his kid was on FaceTime or a kid was in person, was always had a smile, never let the kid see that he was sad or depressed or anxious at all. It's just always put on a good front for his kid, which I think is super cool.
I almost wore my AFC Richmond hoodie, actually.
That would have been tight. I'm a huge soccer guy, so that would have been approved by me.
Awesome.
All right, number 3 is Raymundo Rocket from Rocket Power, Otto Rocket's dad.
Yo,
This list is awesome.
I did a little bit of research when I saw the prompt. I was like, I gotta do
awesome.
some research.
There we go.
Went to back in like the 90s. I'm like, okay, what was that? Was like, oh, this is a cool dad.
He really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a
Rocket
cool dad.
Power. Rocket Power was like top cartoon for me.
Oh, for
I think
sure.
if we had one of the last episodes we had our Saturday morning cartoons.
Mhm.
Rocket Power was on my list.
Oh, for sure. I think Rocket Power, Hey Arnold, and maybe like Doug was probably my top.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then we got Merlin from Finding Nemo, or Marlin, Nemo's dad.
Marlin.
Just like relentless, whatever it took to find his kid. Like super dope.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice.
And then the last one, which is a super random one, but it's the dad from Parent Trap. If you guys seen the newest Parent Trap, I mean, from like a couple years ago.
The newest
Dennis Quaid is
the
actor.
Okay.
And
You
just
said a
like-
couple years ago, like I'm like,
Yeah,
did I miss something?
No. Probably when we were like teenagers or even younger, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. That was also like another cool dad. Just kind of owned a winery, had this like kind of hot girlfriend for a second, but then like chose the daughters in the end. You know,
Heck yeah.
like, whatever was best for the family is what he did, and I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I love
So that's my 5.
That's a dope list.
Yes, amazing list.
Dope list.
We've
Thank you.
That's
one of
awesome.
the things we've been looking for and forward to when we started this, the fictional fathers, the top 5, was to see where guests were at with their thoughts and all those things. So like who you pull from or who you enjoyed watching growing up. So a lot of those are fire. I don't want to say one because I feel like a guest might bring it up, but man, I got one that fuck it.
You're waiting.
Yeah,
for someone to say it.
I'm waiting for somebody to say it so I can just
No.
blow up.
I need to know. By the time we drop this, they
Hey,
may
Arnold's
say it.
granddad. Same exact thing. Like he's a granddad.
Yeah.
Like he's already raised a
That's-
child
Yeah.
before. He didn't have to
That's
do
funny
this.
that you say that because I was actually looking and I was like, who was Arnold's father figure? And then like it just never really came to mind, so that I kind of skipped over it. real
Yeah,
quick.
his granddad and his
Good call,
granddad's
yeah.
best friend who was like on the block, the two old heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel, you have a very large, I guess, like range of art that you create. What got you into photography as a hobby? And
Yeah.
with the overabundance of cell phones and everybody in the world being a photographer, how do you find your way to stand out?
Yeah, I started it as a hobby. Just got a GoPro in college and would just attach it to everything. Had the head mount, chest piece. So like just playing volleyball, would like mount it to my head, or like going surfing or whatever, and then just fell in love with it. And then I got my first camera in like 2016 or 17. A friend of mine sold me his camera, and then just would shoot literally anything. Lucky enough to know someone that played in the NBA at the time, so then was just like filming, shooting practices and stuff. Post them on social. People be like, "Oh, how do you shoot this?" Or like, "Can you do this for my business?" And I was like, "Wow, this is actually like a demand." I was working like some marketing job at the time, and I was like, "This is so lame."
Yep.
So in 2018, I was like, "I'm just gonna go for it." Quit my job and just said, "Hope this works out." And
Hey man, don't get
It
cut
has
from the
since
team
worked
next
out.
week because I'm quitting my job today.
literally. So yeah, no, it's been fun, and yeah, I mean, I try to be different just with, I think not that so much my like art is different, but I think that the speed of which I produce the art is different. Going to these events and sporting games, like I can turn around a reel pretty quick, or just like capture that moment that everyone's like, "Oh, did you get that clip?" And it's like, "I think I got it. Yeah, most likely." But make it look nice, put it on social, and then yeah.
How fast is your turnaround? Because you said that you like knock out reels. Are you shooting it and then instantly going to like the creative
Depends.
part?
Yeah, like for volleyball, I have all day to shoot, and then usually by that next morning I'll have like 20 to 30 plus reels that the athletes can post, that the league can post. NBA stuff is pretty. It's like pretty much the same thing. Like in the evening, just turn around a couple of clips. But yeah, full edit can be also done in a day.
Damn.
If I got the right music and inspiration, like.
What is that?
Sometimes it's how it is.
What is it? What is
it's just,
what is that one banger song that like?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's a vibe. Got you.
Yeah, just that's sometimes what takes the longest too. It's just if you have to find a non-copyright song, it's just like I'm just clicking through so many things. Like, okay, this is not the
sound after sound after sound, just to match a vibe, and it's like, all right, I'm not gonna kill the reel's not dying. It's like,
yeah,
where do I find the good music at though?
With that, even if you could take the copyright issues out of the way, like what's the one song that you wish you could put some content to?
Anything by Odessa for sure. Just love their music. I just went to their show last weekend and it was so good.
Dog,
like fireworks and fire.
My kid's mom put me on that, bro. Shout out to Odessa. You guys make phenomenal music.
Yeah, actually the last two concerts I went to, first was Odessa in 2022. My wife was pregnant with the baby, and then we just went to the concert last weekend, and it was Odessa, and it was so fun.
That's sick.
Fun. Yeah, I would say Odessa.
How was that concert? How was that first concert going while your wife is pregnant?
It was cool. The whole thing was really cool because actually my wife surprised me with the whole trip, so I didn't even know where we were going, what we were doing. So, I saw when we got to the gate going to San Jose, and I was like, okay, what's in San Jose? She was like, pack for something cold, and I was like, all right, it's kind of interesting because it was like October, so a little bit cold in the evenings. And I was like, oh, maybe we're like on a hike or something. And then we get to the hotel, and I'm still like super lost. What's going on? Because it was literally in the middle of nowhere, like in San Jose.
Are you killing me?
And then, yeah, like we flew to San Jose. I'm like, what's in San Jose? And then later that night, she's like, all right, we're walking to where we're going. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we like walked to an amphitheater, and I can see like the signs, Odessa. And I was like, wait, I thought the tour was over. But apparently they had a tour there, but the stage like fell through. So they had to postpone the San Jose shows for a couple weeks or months or something.
Yeah.
And then that's when we showed up, and it was great. And then the only thing that was like kind of, first time parents, like, oh, everything's going to affect the baby. And she was like probably a month or two pregnant, and she's like, oh, is the music too loud and whatnot? And just like,
yeah, dude,
he'll be fine.
So like when that baby's in utero as a dad, you turn into like this biggest, it's like shell.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, back up. Just farming people, elbowing people. We went to a Snoop Dogg concert in the rain out here. I think it was like Snoop Dogg and one of those 420 fests out here in Oregon, geez Louise. But we went to one of those shows, and Hannah was pregnant at the time with Penelope, and I was like, I don't want to go out in public because if somebody touches your shoulder, I'm going to prison. I'm going to flip out. Yeah. She was like, how about you just like not think about it that way, because she's going to need you. So we just stay here. It's like, oh, that makes more sense. But no, it's like you as a parent, man, or as a husband or boyfriend, when your partner, your wife, your girl is pregnant with your child, you turn into the ultimate protector. And then it's beautiful to see that transition to where like you kind of not like ease up, but the baby's here now. So like now as a dad, you're like, I get to touch you and have fun with you and play with you. And then mom turns into this whole lioness that you've never known was in there. It's like, where did these fangs come from?
Right? Oh my gosh, yeah. Or just even like the knowledge or like attention to the detail. I'm like, wow, like I would never even have thought of some of the stuff that my wife is like, oh no, for sure, like this is how it is. And I'm like,
well, yeah, like scientifically,
I'm glad you're on my side.
Yeah, scientifically, I'm so glad I got you on my side because I'm dumb, baby. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Even just like cooking meals now, I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to start. Mac and cheese? Probably not.
I can get you diced up chicken, mac and cheese, and broccoli. Is that fine every day for the rest of your life?
Yeah, right?
We just introduced like juice today, and I was like, because we had just bought some apple juice, and I was like to my wife, I was like, Kate, is it cool if like Mayari tries apple juice for the first time? And I'm like, she's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right, now I know we're not giving her all apple juice, so is it a 50-50 split, 75-25? Like double checking with my wife. I'm like, all right, well, can she have like chili powder yet? Like what? How exotic can we get right now?
Hey, real quick. So I know I said apple juice, but what about? And hear me out.
Yeah.
Habanero peppers.
Sushi.
Sushi. This 18-month-old needs jambalaya. How about that?
Yeah, I just asked her for the first time. I was like, when can we like have ice cream or something, you know? And she's like,
Yeah.
not for a while. I'm like, okay, cool.
Cool. And then, you know, we know things, but we don't know things as dads. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're going with the flow, man. Moms know what they're doing. How did you and mom meet?
We met at a fitness event that she was a fitness model influencer and I was a photographer. We met in the early summer, spring of 2021. She was in a relationship. I was like, oh, we're just friends. Kept up with each other on Instagram. They broke up, and I was like, you want to hang out? That's how it went.
He was that one friend that every other husband's worried about. Oh, I like your guy.
I don't think I wasted that much time. I mean, it was like a mutual, like, we should hang out kind of thing. She was like, oh, like, teach me how to play volleyball. And I was like, sure, let's do it.
I got you.
Never taught her how to play volleyball, by the way.
She's like, still to this day, she don't know how to serve. Not a damn thing.
Literally, she's like, we go to the beach to play sometimes. She's like, yeah, my husband still has never taught me how to play. Like, she can get by, but like,
he's like,
I haven't really taught her.
He's like, babe, the volleyball thing was just a foot in the door. We have a child now. I don't need to teach you how to play volleyball. We're here. We can keep this going for the rest of our lives. Don't worry. Were you a volleyball player in like high school, college?
Yeah, high school, college. Played a little bit on the USA Beach team when I was 21, and then now just film. Yeah.
So, all right, sorry. Now the sports questions are coming in. We'll stop this and go to something else. Volleyball in high school and college. So that means that you're a Arizona, Nevada, California kid.
California.
There we
go.
Okay, cool. I was like,
raised in Los Angeles.
I was like, it's no way in hell.
Was not Chicago.
Like, no way in hell.
Not from Chicago.
You were playing volleyball in the mean streets of Farragut Academy. Not at all.
No. Parents are from Brazil. I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So soccer and volleyball had just been in my blood since I was a kid. But, I mean, I played soccer my whole life.
What's your favorite team?
A little too tall. Chelsea football club.
There we go. Nice. I mean,
I was fully prepared for a Real Madrid response, and I was about to go in, or Man U.
I'm down with Real Madrid because they have so many good Brazilian guys on the team.
They go pick
which
up
is
Brazil
good for the Brazilian team if those guys do well. So
I'm a big fan of America, Poppy. You raised me right. My father-in-law put me on. I don't have a team. I don't have a battle. I used to be the person. If you asked me if I watched soccer, it was. If that weekend I knew that one of the La Liga teams was playing, it was one of them. Yeah. And if that weekend it was a Premier League team, I was like, oh, yeah, let me rock out with, I would say probably like Man City because I don't like red. So I would go with Man City over Man U. So that's literally where it goes. Yeah. Very basic FIFA knowledge.
Since we're on the topic, I'm curious to know, who are your top 5 Brazilian soccer players?
Ooh, top 5 Brazilian soccer players.
Any era, doesn't have to be current. Let's just
Okay, we got all the Ronaldos. Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo.
That's the one I like. That's the one I like. The OG Ronaldo.
The one with the haircut, you know?
Yeah.
Back in 2002, could not be stopped by anyone.
Yeah, I had a haircut done by a machete, bro.
I wonder what he said. Like, when he went to the barber, was like, give me this.
Hey, I got this idea in mind, right? The
ball's gonna go right here, so just leave that patch right there.
Yeah. Yep. And then the barber had to be like, oh yeah, this is a good haircut. Like,
sure.
As a barber, I must sell that to you every day. Please come back. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Because that is a haircut that you kind of need to keep coming back every 2 weeks or so. That's what I'm struggling with my hair right now. I'm like, I don't know what I want, because either I get a haircut that I can maybe last for a month, or like the kind of like fade that like every 2 weeks you got to go. And I'm like,
yeah, it's tough, man.
$80 every 2 weeks.
$80? I need to move to LA. Good God.
Yeah,
it's not a problem I have anymore.
Yeah. Bond. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, Ronaldinho, just guy dances with the soccer ball. I feel like all the guys that I like the most are old school guys. Cafu is like my all-time favorite player. That's the reason why I was number 2 growing up in soccer, volleyball. I probably have to say Neymar, just because it's Neymar.
It's the guy right now. It's like Drake.
Yeah, and then probably Thiago Silva. Probably another.
Oh, bro!
Nice.
Every single year that I got FIFA, the video game, I would blow the bag to get Thiago Silva because he was crazy
yeah.
good. You could put him at any position, back, wing,
Yeah.
or up front. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. That was so hard to actually do top 5 because I didn't even include Pele or
I'm so-
Rivaldo or like any of the new guys.
And
I was like-
he threw you,
Yeah.
he threw that to you as like a curveball. Like,
yeah, that wasn't a prompt. I didn't get
Yeah.
which is fine.
We're not asking any other guest that question. So you kind of talked about it when I did a deep dive. It looks like you're 1 month out of being a dad for 1 full year. What has that this 1 year taught you about yourself as a man, as a partner, and maybe even as a freelance videographer?
Anything is possible, especially if you have a good team, which my wife is the most amazing partner. She's basically my business partner now, my baby mama, my wife, my best friend, like everything. So, but yeah, this past year has been wild. I mean, I hit the ground running. Franklin was born on July 6th.
Franklin? That's a cute ass name, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Franklin João Freitas.
We can't use Franklin, babe.
You can
It's gone.
if you want. So yeah, he was born July 6th. July 8th, I was back to work. So 2 days later for a volleyball tournament. And then, yeah, this year has been like the most successful, most travel, most everything. And it's been awesome. I mean, like I said, having the support. My mom is basically a full-time grandma. She just retired from being a teacher. So like that's been a huge help, huge blessing. But yeah, I mean, I have the best support system. Anytime I'm like, oh, like this job came on my lap and I can go to Europe in 2 weeks, they're like, do it. Like, there's never like oh, I don't know if I can do this because, I have to like think about childcare or like, what's my family going to want to, if they have any other plans, it's like, they're always just like, yeah, go for it.
Wow.
Do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like super cool to have that support. And I get calls sometimes, can you be in Miami tomorrow? And I'm like, can I be in Miami tomorrow? She'll be like,
you can be in Miami tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So having the support has been the most amazing, and just, I don't know, being a dad is cool.
It really is, bro. It's one of the dopest.
It's exhausting, but it's cool.
I was going to say, it's one of the dopest jobs that you could have. It's obviously stressful. Everybody knows that. And I'm not trying to create clickbait by saying we have anxiety as fathers, but we do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We are we're all things at once that mom isn't. So we have to make up all the things that mom not lacks, but mom has so much already. That's why in The Incredibles, the mom was Elastomom because she's stretched in every single direction. And as dads, we think that we have to be the strongest thing in the world. And most of the time, like, as you guys heard earlier, we just don't know shit. We question a lot of things because we still learning too. But no, it's great to know that you have a phenomenal like team around you. Did that come? Obviously, your career path was set, and you were rolling in that. Did that support system, was that always there, or was that something that over time, with the success of your job, they've been okay to?
I mean, definitely. So when I first started, I had just gone out of a divorce, got married young, was with the same girl from 18 to 20 something. And then that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to just start all fresh, quit my job, not supporting anyone else, so I can just kind of go for it. My parents, because I'm an only child, my parents were probably like, I don't know about this videography thing, Because, back in 2018, it like wasn't like that cool to like be a videographer. I feel like now it's like, oh, people want to be content creators all over the place. But and then actually when I met Frances in 2021 is when I think like everything just took off, because she's been in like the modeling industry for a while. So like she'd be like, you're charging people what? That's all you're charging? And then like would give me like these standards of like contracts and all these different things. I'm like,
that's dope,
blowing my mind. But like, sure, because like, I'm like, oh, if I tell them a price that's too high, they're not going to hire me, So like, she gave me the belief in me, and just like, oh yeah, see what happens and see what they will say no to. And then sometimes it'd be like, $4,000 for a job, $10,000, and the client's like, yep. And I'm like, I could have went even higher.
What?
I lowballed myself.
Yeah, literally.
But I think that's
Yeah,
No wonder they said yes so quickly.
right?
to all you new content creators, as you hear him saying right now, it's don't undersell yourself. Your art is your art for a reason. And if you tell somebody that you can shoot 5 videos for $25, they will take advantage of you. So
People do that. Yeah.
Happened to me.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yesterday's price
doing,
is not today's price.
I mean, when I got started, I was doing stuff for free, but like I knew that it was like marketing for myself and getting my foot into the door. Like people ask me that all the time, like, "Oh, how do you get into NBA or MLS?" Or I'm just like, if you don't have anything to show for it, why would they let you in the door? So like, if you're got nothing on your Instagram or whatever your portfolio of basketball, but you want to shoot in the NBA, like
nobody's gonna.
How am I gonna know if you're good or not? You know, or even.
So you're trying to get in here just to get autographs. We can't let you in.
There's so many people that I know that are just like fanboys or like fangirls that just like want to be able to like post on their social that they're at these places. And I think that's what got me in the door to start with, because I just treated all the athletes as normal people. Like, I said before, when I
like normal people because they are normal people. They just do something extraordinary.
Yeah, literally. And like, it also goes back to when I worked after day 2 of my son being born. I was like, oh, I feel so bad. But then also like NBA players, like they go back the next day. Like
some miss the birth of their children just to play in a Super Bowl.
I don't think I could do that.
Not a day in my life.
I don't think, even if I was Patrick Mahomes playing the Super Bowl, I think I would miss that game to go to the birth of my son or my daughter.
Yeah, because that franchise is going to be there, and they might cut you if you play bad next year. You know who won't cut you? Your daughter, your son, your wife. Right. I mean, your wife can't cut you, but your son and your daughter can't cut you. I was going to say, with that in mind, you were saying how sometimes athletes go right back to it. You jumped into it like 2 days afterwards. Having that thought of like, damn, this is like, I'm missing out. You know, that's one thing that a lot of the fathers on the podcast, Patrick himself has brought it up, where it's like, if I say no, it was Keith, I think, if I say yes to this thing, I'm saying no to like my daughter, my wife, or those times.
Right.
Do you ever have those moments, or is it because your son is so young, you feel like you can run that race a bit harder and then pick it up on the back end? Because you can't be a coach. It's not like, you're not like Pat Riley. You're not going to miss 20 years of your children's life. But now, like, is it just you want to get that sprint off?
I think so. I think he's so young that like right now he's not doing that much. I mean, he's just at home. You know, it's not like I'm missing recitals or practices or games or whatever. So I think that definitely will be something I have to think about in the future when it's like, all right, he's got a championship game, or like even just a normal practice, you know, or pick him up from school, you know, stuff like that. I don't want to be the dad that's just always gone. So, because I'm traveling quite a bit this year, so I'm wondering like how that'll go when he's like 5, or you know, or even when like another one comes, you know. So,
have you had those thoughts with yourself, or talks with your partner about the possibilities of what that could look like? Because there's a lot of parents who would love to hear your point of view on.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about it specifically about like, oh, in the next 5 years or so, like there's going to be things that we have to decide on what you know, we have to choose what to do. But I think we have talked about like when that time comes, we'll obviously talk about it. But I think it just depends on like where I'm at in my career. If it's like my own job where I can send someone else, or if it's like I'm being sent personally to go to this event or this game or whatever it is, then I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't have the answer to that. I wish I did.
No, it's fine. This is great though. Like you trying to find the answer right now, it shows that we don't know it all. We're still trying to figure it out as we're going through it. So whether you're a parent to like you're walking into your first year as a father, and this is your first Father's Day coming up this Sunday, or whether you're Patrick with, you know, 4 children and you still have these exact same, you know, wheels turning moments of I wanted to just hear your brain work for our audience, because there's a lot of people out there who are probably taking a step back from their dreams or their goals because they're afraid it might take away from things, where more than likely, if you just go for it, it might actually benefit the house a bit more. So I just wanted to hear that part.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with my wife, she'll most likely be like, go and do your thing. But I feel like me on the inside, I'd just be like, I just wish I could be there for the kids or whatever. I mean, even for her too. If like I don't want to miss anniversaries or anything like that. Like Franklin's birthday is July 6th. I was maybe going to be in Europe a little bit before, so during his birthday. So I was like, okay, like maybe we do his birthday party a week before, and then I'm like, but still, like I don't want to miss his like actual birthday. So I'm like even contemplating for his first birthday to not even take this job in Europe. That'll be like a super dope job, just to be there for that first birthday. Man. So I don't know. It's such a tough.
It's ebbs and flows, bro. It's peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows, and welcome. We welcome you to the stress of fatherhood. There you go. We're passing this on. We meet every Friday, obviously.
Whoa. Hold on just a second. Before we dive any further into the episode, we got to take a quick moment to thank you, the amazing Father Time family, for tuning in. We seriously appreciate you hanging out with us and exploring the wild world of fatherhood as we try to balance it with relationships, careers, and passions, and all the glorious chaos that comes with it. Now, if we discuss something today that sparked a question or maybe even a personal story you'd like to share, don't be shy. Drop some knowledge in the comments or slide in the DMs. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and be sure to follow us at FatherTimePod on all social media platforms for exclusive content, behind the scenes, and much, much more. You won't want to miss it. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We wouldn't want you to miss out on a single dose of Father Time wisdom or laughs. We try our best. All right, that's enough from us. Let's get back to the episode. Peace. That's tough. I can't even imagine having to juggle that and that thought process on taking this dope ass job and your child's first birthday.
Yeah.
That's definitely very, very tough. But to the parents that are thinking about chasing a passion, I think like you were saying, Daniel, 5 going on 6 years in of betting on yourself, and it looks like it's paid off pretty well for you.
Look at Big D.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing right now with the podcast. Like, this is a passion, and if we can turn this into something a lot larger, great. But like what Blair was asking, like we just make time for it. Like, we find those hours in the day.
Yeah, and I think other dads will definitely appreciate it. And even just like, yes, it's nice to just be able to share about how your year has gone or several years of being a dad. And it's cool to, something that I love a lot about what I do is I love giving the knowledge that I have now to people that are up and coming. Because I didn't have that when I was just starting out in this content creator world. It was just like, I'll figure it out as I go. But now it's like my DMs are always open, and I'm never going to like big dog anyone like, oh, like I don't even know who this is. Like I'll always answer people's questions and try to give as much insight as I can, because I feel like that's, while like capturing and doing the video photo thing, like I think my purpose on this earth is to like help other people. So
that's awesome. That is actually
do that with a little.
That's not only a dad gym, that's a human gym.
Yeah, that's a new segment, human gym.
Take notes. So we talked about sports. Obviously, you've got a litany of sports that you capture. How is it transitioning from one sport to the next as far as how you capture specific moments? And how does that translate then to capturing family moments?
Yeah. Well, I think actually it's a good thing when I go from different sport to different sport, because sometimes I will take something that, let's say I'm shooting at the NBA, and bring it to the volleyball world or bring it to the soccer world or whatever, you know. I think it keeps it fresh, because if you're like, I see people that are shooting just basketball or just soccer, it's like, okay, how do you change it up a little bit? But if you see different things from different sports, it's like, okay, how can I implement this into the next sport that I'm going to? And it's cool because like for me, when one sport season is ending, like another one's basically starting. So like NBA is done, like volleyball starting, soccer starting, WNBA is starting.
Yeah.
And then when that finishes, maybe NFL, who knows, you know? So
it seems like it could be it could be overwhelming to start, but once you find your flow, you could find yourself, which I've looked at videos and pictures. I've tried to be very like detailed, and when I look at it, it's like, oh, I'm trying to figure out what he saw when he shot this. But now it's like, no, dog, I think if you could take a good angle from a golf shot, and take that same angle to what, like, I don't know, tennis or some shit like that. Like, if it's taking and recreating in different areas, that is the one thing that we do as parents as well. So how do you take, like D'Amico was saying, like with your family now, like shooting your family? What are those moments like? Do you feel like you take a step back from like taking pictures or recording your family because it is your job?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like probably not as much as some people do. But recently I'm like, okay, I want to be less on electronics when I'm in front of my son. So even just like if he's independently playing, like I don't want to just be like on my phone, because if he looks at me, then it's just like
You're not paying
showing
attention.
him that I'm present. So like we have this like a little playpen behind us. Awesome, because he's so mobile. He's not even a year old. He's running basically.
No.
So yeah. Oh yeah. He started walking a month ago. So
we got the next Brazilian American star here on stateside.
We go to the park every night because I just need to get the energy out.
Oh wow.
Like, mom can like make dinner and stuff, and
Exactly.
we live like 10 minutes from a park. So like around 5 o'clock we'll go down to the park. He'll run around, do his thing, and then hope that he sleeps through the night. But haven't gotten him to sleep through the night yet, and it's been a year. So
good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, Penelope didn't sleep through the night until a year and a half, 2 years in. Like,
I don't want to hear that.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum.
I want you to say as soon as that year hit, they were sleeping.
Oh, well, yeah. You know, she sleeps like a rock now. I can tell you that. It's very hard to wake her up now.
Yeah.
How's teething going?
Oh my gosh, that is so bad. And he's biting me, and I'm like, bro, you cannot be biting me.
Just gotta bite her.
Yeah, so he's got the 2 top, 2 bottom, and then the 2 top sides are coming in. So yeah, I mean, he's just chomping on everything and anything. Yeah, I feel like every time I had something that ends in it, it's just like something else comes right after it.
Welcome again. We meet every Thursday. Every Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, brother. Because look, and it's crazy because there's people out there with 6 or 7 of these things, and they're just like they voluntarily did that. So yeah, I'm thrown off every day. My daughter does something, and I'm like, how did you, like, what possessed your body and brain to do and say that? And then she'll just like turn around with like the confidence of Jesus and just walk away from it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing?
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I mean, I can wait for the moments where he just so like doesn't listen to me, and just like I'm like as parents at the park, like trying to wrangle their kids to go back to the car, like we gotta go. Like frankly, I can just pick them up and like, all right, we're gone.
Yeah, with this,
so, like,
not yet.
Like, we'll run away. And...
I was like, he might blitz on you. You never know, dog. He might run from you.
Oh, there's times where I'm like, oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Some of the good thing is we live by the beach too, so like on the sand he's much slower.
Oh yeah,
it's harder to walk in the sand.
He said, I don't gotta go into a full blown sprint to catch a child. So.
Oh my God. At the park, I'm like, he's gone.
Man.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite events that you have shot? And second question, my wife hates these, sorry, boo. But what are some of your favorite events that you've shot in? And what were did you have championship feelings when you were shooting those?
Probably the number one on my list is I traveled with Conor McGregor for a week and shot him for a week. That was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was like when
the Notorious.
Remember when I told you back in 2021 when I got with my wife, or maybe she was my girlfriend at the time, but then like everything just took off.
Yeah.
Like that happened also like a month into us dating, and I was like, hey, I just got this call to be in Chicago and Miami all next week. She's like, go for it. And I was like, what should I charge? She's like, charge this. And I was like, I have never charged that in my life. I don't want to like ruin this opportunity because you tell me to charge this. And I said, here's what I charged. And they said, yes, without even like coming back at me like, oh, can we go lower? And I was like, this is unreal.
Hey man,
So, yeah,
I'm waiting for
and
that. Hey,
you're talking
that
about-
just gave me chills, bro. Like, just like somebody telling
it
you
was-
okay off of the first price, like, yeah, okay, and then just go back to work. I'm like,
yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, and then no questions asked, and then the championship feeling. I got to fly private back from Miami to LA. That was like just so dope. I've never done that
That's
before. Haven't done it since, but
Non-stop flight, baby. We got our feet
yeah,
up.
it was just like you just walk up to the plane. Like there's no TSA, there's no nothing.
There's some Hall of Famers that only have one championship. So
You're living it up. I mean,
you're still hot.
Chuck ain't got one,
Yeah,
so
Sorry,
I think that's
Yeah.
phenomenal, bro. I think I asked for that like championship feeling because myself, one of my biggest, not biggest moment of championship feeling, but the one moment that I will say that I had the most pride in like shooting, and it wasn't for myself. It was editing podcasts for a group called Therapy, like some of their guys. And then when I got a chance to shoot the Eugene Marathon, it was just like beautiful to be able to see the hard work that everybody put in. And you could see it in their faces. It's no one was tired. Everybody was joyful.
that's incredible. That's what I think is crazy about track. Like they finish a race, they breathe hard for like a second,
And then they're back in.
and then they can answer interview questions. And I'm like,
Without
I would be dead.
I was just playing
yeah.
with Penelope earlier, bro, trying to sing Unwritten and dance around with her. And I watched the video back. I was like, oh, cardio, please.
Not posting this one.
Yeah, I deleted it. I was like, the world don't need to see that part of us.
Yeah,
You know?
right. Oh my gosh.
I'm a skinny fat dude over here right now, bro. It's terrible.
Literally. Yeah.
What is one of the things that you are looking forward to with your son when it comes to things that you guys can connect with, whether that be sports, whether that be photography or videography? Like, what are you, I guess, excited for him to try?
I think sports and traveling. Sports just because I've played sports my whole life, but then now just like where he's going to Paris with us in August and going to Portugal after visits the family. I'm just like, I just want to. I mean, he's only going to be a year old, but like, I just want to see like him in a different environment and just see how he adapts. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it all. It's kind of cliche to say, but like,
No, it really is. But it's
everything. Every month has been so fun and like so new, and just I don't want to think too far ahead and be like, oh, I'm looking forward to when he's on a soccer team, because then it's like I won't be able to like snuggle him, you know, when he can't sleep at night when he's like, you know, 12 or 18 or whatever. So it's just like I want to enjoy these moments as much as I can, but also think about the future, but not too much.
It's a hard balance, D'Amico. You can kind of talk about that a lot more because we have these conversations daily.
I'm losing that battle because I'm always thinking about like the future and what that looks like for my daughter. Because like I'm 6'1" on a good day, and then my wife's 5'10". I'm like, we've got big shoulders. She played softball, and so like, I'm like, she might be in the WNBA. Like, it's hard not for me to start thinking about that. I'm like, Chicago Sky's right down the street.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, all right, here's a basketball. Let's just foster this.
Speaking of which, you gotta go to a Sky game. I did the media day for them, so I want to see what you think about the intro video, and also they got a good squad.
Motherfuckers, we gotta do more. This isn't to you, D'Amico. This is to all brand new WNBA fans. It's fairly simple. Google Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker. There's GOATs out there, and then you got like my girls down there in Dallas, Satu. You got Sabrina up in New York. Those are my Oregon girls, as you can see. We rep the team. So there's some heavy hitters out there that aren't that didn't just get drafted this year.
Right. The thing that blew my mind about WNBA is that like less than 50% of the rookies make the team that you get drafted.
That's the thing.
Now we're good.
There's a lot of
no one knows about that.
A lot of people don't. There's a lot of number one overall picks in the WNBA that 2 years later are cut from the team.
Oh yeah.
Or the same year that they get drafted.
Even like a top 10.
Yeah, the same year you get
make
drafted.
the team that year.
You get cut the same year. It's sad. So that's why I'm happy that they're getting the exposure, because it's going to work out. I think that the big three, if they got $10 million to like put just towards one player with up to $15 million for that one player. Let's see if we can start a team to where we have more opportunities for these girls, because there's no way in hell there's the G League, the D League, Spain League, and all these leagues, and we don't have our American athletes who are gorgeous, great athletes as women staying home to play basketball. It's shocking to me.
Yeah, that's wild that like they don't make enough or get treated like a professional athlete, so they have to go literally overseas.
My wife makes more money than Caitlin Clark does, and my wife doesn't dribble basketball. She doesn't, but she makes more than her, and that's sad to say. Sorry, that was it. But yeah, go to a fucking Sky game and look at more than just Angel Reese.
You're right. Yeah.
Because there's a Brazilian on the team.
Again,
there's a Brazilian on the team that went to South Carolina. She's a beast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a beast, yeah.
I'm sorry, D'Amico. I didn't mean to sound like I was attacking you. We just jumped on you.
We kind of
you kind of just jumped on me right there. I was like, let me tell you that, we got tickets. Like, I wanted to go to my first WNBA game with my daughter. Like,
I'm sorry, brother.
That's on us. That's
my bad co-host. My bad
as a guest. I have nowhere to even speak on that.
You can see that me and Daniel truly care about the WNBA. We were like, hey, check it out, y'all. What was Media Day like? Like I've only been on one side of Media Day, and that was my freshman year of college, and I blew my knee right after that. So I wasn't an athlete. But what was Media Day like?
I've done probably I would say around 10 media days between like NBA, WNBA, some soccer stuff. And they're always so much fun. It's super fast paced. It's a sprint. But just like seeing the athletes like kind of show some character and show some of their like personality is fun. But it's definitely like you got 5 minutes maybe with like some of these people and just got to make them look good or like, make them feel comfortable. And
you do. You have to make everybody look good, and they come in with a bad day. Like how? Like also, I'm gonna ask that question. As a photographer, you're a director of people in a sense. As a videographer, like you are holding the camera, but you are in control of how this is going to be, I guess, consumed and viewed. What is that like? Ebb and flow like, because you have to flex your creative muscle, but then also please the client who paid for it.
Right. I mean, I feel like most likely if the client has paid for it, like most likely people will show up in good spirits. But like some of these athletes, maybe, you never know like what they went through the night before or last week. So like you try to make them feel as comfortable as you can for that couple of minutes that you're with them, and just maybe if I'm smiling more, then maybe they'll smile more. If I crack some jokes or dad jokes,
We need to add those to the list. We got to have like a dad joke section of our podcast.
I don't have any good dad jokes, so don't even ask. But it just
as of right now, you haven't told a single good dad joke?
I mean, it's just like, it's something so random that just someone will say something and then I'll just say something so stupid that it's a dad joke.
There you
but
go.
Not like I will remember it. Like I probably say it all the time, but I just don't have it off top.
I got one that you can borrow, and it's super funny and easy. Right. How does a dinosaur pay his bills? Tyrannosaurus checks.
That's pretty good.
That's my dad joke.
Good one.
My daughter dies. It's not supposed to be funny now. It's supposed to be cringe funny dad joke.
Yeah. My best one was situational.
Okay.
It was early stages. Wife was still breast pumping, and it was early stages of that. So like struggling just to get 1 or 2 ounces of milk.
Oh yeah.
And the first time she got like over that, one of those midnight pumps, walking to the fridge, and like she spilt it, and like you could see on her face the dread.
Oh yeah.
And I just looked at her. I was like, "There's no use in crying over spilt milk." And that could have gone 1 or 2 ways, obviously.
Oh, I am surprised you are still here.
I was like, brother, Kate, I'm sorry, Kate.
But it was.
I am so sorry.
That just made me nervous.
But the delivery of it.
Oh,
she looked at me and she chuckled at it, and she's like, "That could have gone 1 of 2 ways."
Oh yeah.
One way it went, or you're sleeping on the couch or outside.
You
whatever.
and Lincoln got the.
So
the
that was.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Situationally, that is my top dad joke or whatever. I'll probably never top that then.
Oh, gravy.
That's
really fast. You got it. You had an hour and a half, right, Daniel?
I got whatever you guys need. Is if there's a baby that's coming in soon, I don't know, but
Okay.
y'all can.
It was like,
We'll see.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
It'll be a first baby drop
bro, if
by.
you could just like,
Yeah,
if you
I
make
mean-
it happen, make it happen. Like,
I'm gonna see. I could look at
Francis,
the
let's see if we
location
get
right
the
now.
baby in here.
Oh, they're still at the park, so I'm chilling.
Okay, for sure. We
Cool.
we won't hold you hostage with conversations
No,
all day, but
This is father time. This is cool.
I love it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Love
Hey, y'all
it.
heard
Yeah,
that?
no, this
That's
is,
the soundbite.
No,
He
this
said
is-
it.
The
This is so
soundbite
cool.
we've been waiting for.
He said it.
This is just.
All right,
being
I'm
with
your play
the
partner,
boys,
host of Motion Country Cousin Blair. I'm done. I don't gotta say shit. Daniel, you got it.
I'm curious to know, what are some of your other hobbies that you balance, obviously your workload with, and being a dad? What are some of the hobbies that you find enjoyable that you share with your wife Fran, or just on your own, things that you enjoy?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't made that much time for hobbies because it's like I'm working, I'm with the kid, or I'm sleeping. But I mean, we'd like to watch Netflix, like if the baby's asleep for like an hour, if we get that, if he doesn't wake up. But we like to go out to eat. We try to like not change our life too much now that we have a baby. So like we still like to go to the beach and like still go out to walks and whatnot and just live life as normally as we possibly can within the nap schedule and windows. So yeah, like we like to go to dinners, we like to go to the park, go to the beach. I was playing a lot of Fortnite before baby came, and I have not picked up my Xbox probably more than twice since he's been born. So
I do understand those days. They'll come back.
But I mean,
I can say that with much confidence. Those days will come back because he'll want to see you have fun and
right. And also we're not doing screens still, so like even just like if a game's on and he wakes up, it's like all right, the game's got to come off. So like I haven't not watched any NBA playoffs. Like unless I was there for the Clippers, like I couldn't tell you if I've even seen a full game. I haven't seen any of the finals. I've watched more WNBA than I've watched the NBA finals. That's for sure.
I mean, if you're keeping it a $150 with you, the WNBA right now seems a bit more entertaining. We already know what's going to happen on the NBA side.
Yeah.
Luka's showing his ass off right now. He is not a leader of men. What was the player that kind of got your foot in the door, and how did that relationship come about? Because there's a lot of living in Oregon, living in Eugene, Oregon, I am a stone's throw away from the university. I live in the same exact apartment complex where there's athletes here, so there's a lot of opportunities for the up and coming guys. Like, how do they build that relationship? How do they get their foot in the door to where they don't like you can be a fan, but don't be a fan boy or girl.
Right. Yeah. I mean, mine, to be honest, just kind of landed in my lap. I met Sasha Vujacic, played for the Lakers, just playing volleyball in Manhattan Beach in like 2014. Yeah. Him and Blake Griffin had like a summer where they were and then just kind of kept in contact. And then 2015, I think Sasha was playing for the Knicks. So then just when in the off season, he would come back to LA, we would play volleyball, go out to dinners. And then it was when he was a free agent, is when I was just like pumping out a bunch of content for him, see if he can get signed by a team. And then, so I mean, we're still cool now. I mean, we don't hang out as much as we used to, but that was like my foot in the door, covering him and DeAndre Jordan in practice a lot.
That's fucking fire,
and
bro.
Then,
That's
and then
awesome.
put it on social, and that's when people were like, "Can you do this for us?" And then led to the next thing, and then I was doing like some Drew League stuff. Air West is like this open run for pros and semi-pro guys in LA, and I did stuff for them for a year, all for free, just because I just loved doing it. I just loved the connection, and I was like just getting started. So now it's like, I would never do anything for free unless it's like this crazy cool opportunity that like might lead to, like, I do some things for like a cheaper rate or whatever, because I'm like, okay, this may lead to other things. Which has definitely happened a lot. But
he said that free shit's out the window, dog. Only thing I'm giving out for free is game, baby. No, that's awesome, brother.
So,
that's awesome.
But I mean, like, you as a new up and coming content creator, like, you have to put in your time. So
Yeah,
Like I said, no one's going to hire you to work an NBA game if you don't have any basketball at a high level.
you got to get your cut in it, and it's kind of weird because that's where a lot of people that I knew got their start. It's like, hey, nothing just fell in my lap. I put myself in positions to always
Mhm.
be of service. This
Right.
is like
Yeah.
this clip that's in my head that I keep hearing. It's about Praz from the Wu-Tang, or excuse me, from the Fugees, where he says, like his dad gave him a piece of advice, was like, be used. Like if when it comes to people, like be useful, because like
Hmm.
I'd much rather be used than be useless. Because if you're useless, people throw you away. But if you're able to be used without being
Right.
used, you should be good. Uh, so
Yeah.
that's kind
Which
of
I
where
definitely got used
I'm
a little
Yep.
at the beginning, which, you know,
Hey,
so like right when
it's a
that,
part of the game, baby. Charter to the
yeah,
game.
like right when that Connor stuff happened, another client that I was basically like, I didn't know any better. I was charging them super cheap rate. And then they came back to me and wanted some like kind of a ridiculous amount of deliverables and things. I was like, all right, well, this is what's going to cost after I've kind of realized what things should
Hmm.
cost for for clients. And then I got this like text about how I'm going to like ruin my business. I don't know how to do business. And like, this guy's like, I've hooked you up with all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but like, you've like introduced me, but like, it wasn't anything that you did
Yeah, you
really. It
didn't
was like
plug it.
relationships that I kept and the work that I did that like kept the relationship going. So I have that screenshot still of that text because like every once in a while I'll think about it. Actually, it's probably maybe in a month or two is like 4 years since you sent me that text, and it's just like you kind of like lit something in me that I didn't really know that I had,
Shout out to
and
you. You created Daniel.
so thank
You
you.
you created
Yeah,
the fire in Daniel for that boy to
yeah,
not go off, bro. I love it.
yeah. So like it's cool to like now stick up for myself and like I know what I'm worth, and um,
And all that just
yeah, but
came
I'm
from
definitely
meeting a pretty lady at the model shoot and then telling her you'll teach her how to play
really
volleyball. Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and now she made me a father, so it's cool.
Hey, now we're here.
With mentioning Fran, like you had mentioned that she's kind of your business manager.
Hmm.
I saw one of the daily vlog videos of her scolding you on not doing your taxes on time. With her being your kind of business manager, how has
Hmm.
that impacted the relationship as husband wife as well as mom and
Uh,
dad?
I don't. I mean, I don't think. I mean, it hasn't impacted in a negative way at all. I mean, if anything, it's like I have just so much trust in her with literally everything and anything that's a part of my life. So like, even today, like I was trying to do some edits and I had jury duty. I got a jury duty letter, and I'm like, it's next week. I have shoots all next week, and she was like, all right, I'll just call and handle it for you. I'm like, you would like you'll do that for me? And she's like, yeah, I'll do anything for you. I'm like, this is so cool. Like,
I got a wife.
Wait, you can do
like
that?
you are willing to handle something that I just dread doing, and like so many times like that where she's like, she'll do our taxes for us, and like even today there was a, I don't know if I should say this, but there was a job opening for some sports team, and she was like, I'll do your resume, and I was like, that's so cool that we can work together, and like so yeah, just I think knowing that I can trust her with literally anything,
Yes.
business, wife, mother, anything. It's so cool to know that like if I'm like, hey, can you please cover this or do this or help me with this? Like she's always down to do it,
So,
and she'll do it like really well.
so this is something that I've heard from a friend of mine's father who worked in like marine biology. He used to
Hmm.
he made the tags for like the animals' ears or whatever.
Oh,
He
cool.
made those and
Yeah.
then sold them. Kyle Fish, his dad did that, and then sold it a
Dope.
couple years ago. But the one thing he told me was like his boss um, at the company that they worked at, his boss never like he was never able to truly feel like he could talk to his boss about like real feelings, like when it came to like cutting each other about things. But he
Mm-hmm.
felt comfortable telling his secretary, which was his wife at the time. He's like, my wife was my
Mm-hmm.
secretary. So the CEO and the CMO, they always split. Like business partners can split. But
Mm-hmm.
if that CEO goes anywhere, you know who's coming with him? His secretary.
Oh, for sure.
So
Oh yeah.
it's like sometimes the secretary knows more. Sometimes the secretary is like, the secretary takes on a lot of things to make your job a lot easier. And not saying that wives are secretaries, but sometimes our wives pick up parts of our lives that they know would distract us and make it harder for the actual goal to get accomplished.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I see my wife, again, not as my secretary, but I didn't have a bank account before I met her. Money was in a shoebox.
Oh my god.
Money was in a shoebox. I didn't have a bank. Barely had a doctor. I went to like the VA to get checkups. It's like with this woman in my life, she's helped me get a schedule. Better. And I had a baby at that time, and I was still like, I don't need to go to the doctor. If I die, I die. Kirk Cousins. And she was like, nope, I need you to go get a primary care doctor. So it's like,
oh my gosh, yeah. There's so many things like that. Like my wife is like, you don't wear contacts, and my eyesight is pretty terrible. I'm like, yeah, I just like go through life without seeing. And she's like, you should just get contacts. Your job, literally, you need to see if things are in focus or like framed well. I'm like,
I guess
you're right.
I guess you're
so
right.
Then I got contacts, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could see a whole new world.
No, I got glasses because of her.
You see all the colors.
So when you and Fran were, in the starting phases of your relationship, you just get out of the divorce situation, living your single life, you meet Fran, those steps it took to realize, hey, this is my person. Like, I know for sure this is my person. It wasn't like the first marriage, but this is my person now.
Mm-hmm.
What was there a fear jumping back into that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So
there was the fear of having to tell people that I'm divorced. Like I'm a divorced man. Sucked. Like I hated going on dates and be like, oh, they're like, oh, like, have you been in a relationship before? Or what's your longest relationship? I'm like, well, I've actually only been with one woman before, and like we're married and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But fun fact, Fran has also been divorced, so that was like,
wow.
So that was like one of the first things we bonded on, was just like we both are in LA, divorced, and like have had terrible relationships in the past, and just like once we kind of got to know each other, it was like, wow, like this is my person. And it was so cool. I mean, we moved so fast.
When
literally, yeah.
Our shout out to finding your person.
Yeah, like we started dating September of 2021. I proposed June of 2022. We got married August of 2022.
Hey,
so like,
that's
and then
so fast.
Found out we were having a baby October of 22.
There we go.
So I proposed, got married, and found out
you're about to be a dad within like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. And also like we moved faster because it was just like we knew what we wanted. Like there wasn't let's try this out. And, like, are we dating to get married? Because I was like, if I'm gonna date someone, like I have the intentions to marry that person.
Yeah.
And so
a lot of people don't have that, because that was, I can say for sure, that was not my game plan when I met Alma, when I met my wife. It was like, I just got out of the relationship with Hannah. Not just, but we had just like broken up like a few months before. And I was like, I'll say this. I used to tell people like, I just want to be like George Clooney now that I'm single. Because I thought George Clooney was I thought George Clooney was single as shit and just had like he was just living his life. And somebody's like, he's married, right? And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, George Clooney got a whole wife out here who's way better at her job than he is at his. So I found my wife, who is actually of Latin descent and is way better at her job than I am in mine. So shout out to you, boo. There you go. All in all, I ended up being George fucking Clooney, just black.
There you
go. I have a tequila company.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. the Father Time Tequila coming soon.
Drunk ass dads is what it would be called. DAD, drunk ass dads.
No.
What is one thing that, if you could go back and talk to that guy who was just getting out of the relationship, going to that photo shoot, what is one thing you would tell him? Not in preparation, because if we all know the butterfly effect, if you tell me what happens, if you're a time traveler and you tell me what happens, it can fuck up the future. But like, without revealing everything to past you, what would you tell him to kind of make him, I guess, comfortable in his thought of the journey that you're on is the right one?
You're talking about like me,
Mhm.
like fresh out of my divorce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you fresh out of divorce. You're literally getting in the car to drive to the photo shoot that you're going to end up meeting Fred at. Like, that's the day that you go back to. What do you tell him
my
before he
gosh.
gets in the car?
Just be a good person. Be the light in the world that you want to see. You know, like, yeah, I think just do a good job. Don't worry too much about other things that are happening in your life, and just do this job the best you can, and make the people around you as happy and excited to be there as you can be, and then good things will happen.
For sure. I just I'm very much if you could go back in time, what's one era you would want to go to? Myself, I would want to go see Jimi Hendrix play the national anthem at Woodstock. Not the greatest year for Black people,
Right.
but great time for music. So I would love to do
Right.
stuff like so. That's where me personally, and if I could go back and talk to young Blair before that shift that I met my wife at, I would just let him know like it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this way. Like every bump, scratch, bruise, supposed to be this way. And then I would moonwalk away.
Oh yeah, I was down in the dumps for a while. Just like, this is all I ever knew. And then my world just got turned upside down. And just like, what am I going to do? And then family support, trusting God, and just,
it definitely
grind.
Yeah. If you keep your head down and you don't ask for things, I feel like, because I didn't ask for a wife. I wasn't searching for her.
Yeah.
I was searching for me. I didn't know who I was. So I was searching for that new, different stage of the man who has a child who's not with the child's mother now. Like, you are everything that you talk shit about. So like, how now do you like walk outside? How do you look at yourself in the mirror? So yeah, because I used to be hard on my brother. How you got 6 kids and like 4 different baby mamas, bro? Like, pick one. It's like I was Nick Miller.
You have to choose. You can't have both women.
What was I supposed to do?
Why, you think you can have a bunch of wives? You got one wife. This is the way the world works.
Why?
I don't know.
So that's where I was at. So like, no, I would just be like, bro, you were supposed to fall. You were supposed to chip your tooth. You were supposed to end up in that situation. You know, that one that you always harp about. You're supposed to do that. That led you to this, which then led me right here to talking to Daniel with my best friend D'Amico, and we get to talk about one of the greatest things to me, and that's being a father. And the second greatest thing to me is being a ladder holder for my friends. And I feel like I just made a friend in Daniel, so I get to support Daniel. I get to, I play volleyball, not good, and I just found out how to play 2 years ago. I'm just, tall, lanky dude. I was a bouncer, so I want to spike the ball so much. So if we ever play, just know, set me up.
Oh yeah,
set me up.
Anytime you come down to LA,
I'll let you know.
You're in.
Do you golf by chance? Sorry, you golf?
I'm a terrible golfer, but
okay, but don't worry about it. We're good. We'll go out together. I'm not that good either.
Yeah.
Speaking of golf, I know that you did that event for UGP. How was that?
That's cool. Fun fact about UGP, they were like one of my very first clients that I ever had in the content creator space.
What is that?
Is that how you know Roger?
Through UGP, yeah. I met
Urban Golf Performance down in California. Shout out Mac Todd, who runs that. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Actually, I know his business partner Leo. We went to college together. Who's like Mac's like right hand man. So Leo played golf at CBU, the college that I went to. I played volleyball. We stayed in touch. And this was back in like 2018. They were kind of like, Mac was doing his thing solo for a while, and then they branched out. Just opened Costa Mesa, which was probably like number 3 on their list. And I'd go down there like once a month, create content for them in LA. And then I think Roger and some other people came in. They're doing their own thing for a while. And then when Roger was with UGP, he couldn't cover something at like the Riviera Country Club that they were doing, and so he hired me to do it. And so I don't think I've ever actually met Roger in person though. It's always been like online or just over the phone for that job.
Yeah, same. He's a. That's I say it all the time. Dude is mad charismatic. Like,
oh, dude, yeah,
it's insane.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, I tried to like keep the like I'm not a fan of Roger when he came in the pod, but within seconds I was like, "You're so funny." I was like, I can see why this dude floats into rooms and gets deals done.
Oh yeah, I see his stuff and I'm like, I want to be like Roger when I grow up.
Me too, bro. I still like. I'm like, how do you make all this content?
I'm probably older than him, but
me too. No, he's probably older than me. Yeah, I was like, he wouldn't got the magazine.
Dude is on a cover.
Yeah, no, that's
dude
cool.
is
The
on
Chicago
a cover.
Golf District, bro. Shout out, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
So Daniel, with you playing volleyball and soccer as a kid, how has that impacted the way that you shoot the sport?
Yeah.
Like, are you like more aware of like certain angles or ways that you capture the content that you do?
I think I don't think I'm more aware of angles because I feel like everyone can be anywhere for capturing stuff, but I feel like I know the flow of the game pretty well to where I know where the ball's going. I can anticipate where a big moment might happen, especially in volleyball because the ball can go kind of anywhere.
Mhm.
Basketball, soccer, they all have the main goal of going to the basket, going to the goal. And volleyball, it's like you put the tiny little ball in this big square. So like if you can follow it as best as you can. So I think that's where a little bit of an advantage for me is I played volleyball. So like sometimes I can see, depending on where I'm sitting, I can see what the blocker, let's say, is putting up his, block signal. So I'm like, all right, the blocker's going to go here, which means the defender's going to go here. So I can kind of anticipate where the action might happen.
Mm-hmm.
And also like where the attacker like hits it on their hand, I can kind of see like, oh, if they're doing one of these moves, ball's most likely going to go to this side of the court, vice versa. So I think that's where I have a little bit of an advantage with volleyball. It's like I've played for so long that I can I'm like reading the game as if I'm playing also while I'm filming.
Nice. That's probably like a very great advantage when it comes to selling the product as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure the pictures sell themselves, the videos sell themselves, but it's like I would much rather want to have an audio engineer edit my audio than a gardener, right? So, you wouldn't come to me to shoot your volleyball like footage. You definitely wouldn't. Like, I'm a music video shooter. I shoot music videos, and I hate those. Stop asking me. I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like me in like weddings. It's like, don't ask me to do your wedding.
I got asked to do
unless
one
you're like
wedding.
my best friend. Like,
no,
I won't do it.
I don't. If you're my best friend, I'm in your wedding. So unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah, that's very true.
But no, that's
also very true. I will help you find someone.
Oh yeah, I can push you to the right direction. But no, it's like I've been asked multiple times, like, hey bro, like, do you do like kid videos or do you do? I'm like, no, I don't work with children or animals. And I barely like working with people. Like, I want to work with a blank space. I want to work with like flowing things. So I step back.
That's interesting.
Well, like it's for me, it's being in Oregon, I hike a lot. So if I have my drone with me or if I have my long range camera with me, I can get a good shot of an eagle or an osprey. So it's like I'd much rather like shoot the ocean dancing than to try to direct a music video. And you guys are bad at taking direction. Just. One second. Hey, baby, daddy's recording. Can I call you back? Can I call you back? May I call you back? Daddy's recording a podcast right now. Okay. I'm recording a podcast right now. Can I call you back?
See, I'm not even at that level yet. I'm not even at that
Okay,
stage.
you want to say hi to Uncle D'Amico? Yeah. You want to say hi to Uncle D'Amico? All right. Daddy's got to go. I love you, okay? Do you got ice cream? Let me see it. That's what you're supposed to call me to show me the ice cream, cuz. What we on?
I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not there yet either. No, you're good. As far as like screen time, like we've just started kind of introducing that to Mayari, Miss Rachel, a lot of Bluey. Not like obviously you've said like you're not doing screen time, but I recommend Bluey if you haven't already watched it.
No, I haven't. I do see it on your wall.
Yeah. Just a dog family out of New Zealand or Australia. Like it's just I've explained it to Blair. It's like if you combined like Sesame Street and Ted Lasso, you get Bluey. Because there are like just deeper lessons that are more than just learning about the alphabets and like your colors.
Yeah.
You got to say play ball? You did? Did Ryan get a video?
Yeah, now I'm like,
Did you
we're
guys
going
get a
to
video?
Paris, we have that long flight, and I'm like, what are we gonna do to keep
What
this
the
kid entertained for like
What
9
the
hours?
fuck? Oh, my nigga! Okay, hold on. That I'm
Time
so
is
sorry.
capturing a
Let me
real
call you.
moment.
I'm gonna call you
No,
tonight,
you're good.
okay?
Yeah, this is great.
Okay. Oh, look at you, cool kid.
That's a proud dad right there.
Yeah, we got
I
big
love
foreheads,
it.
baby. It's a cuts curse. I'm so sorry. We got fat foreheads. Is what we do. All right, Daddy loves you. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye bye.
Yeah, we keeping that.
Yeah, we may have a Franklin cameo here too.
Play ball at the game. They picked her ass off the stand.
Oh,
Goose. All right, my bad. I'm a proud dad right now. That was me being proud papa moments. I'm so sorry. We got the baby! Yay!
That was my mom, my wife, and baby and dog are back from their park adventures.
So sorry. That was like a
Nice.
phenomenal moment for me. Like, not sorry.
No, that's
I'm
awesome.
sorry for picking up the time, but like, man, that was
No,
fucking
all
sick.
good.
I saw pride on your face. That was
Yeah.
dope.
Man. That's sick as shit.
You're cool.
With this Sunday coming up, being Father's Day at the time of recording, it is the 14th, so we got Father's Day weekend coming up. What is one thing that, as a dad, you now look at your father and have that, I guess, like that sense of like connection? Although it might not be as big yet because your son is still so young. Do you have that yet?
I was just gonna say, I think he's still so young, but like, I think just sometimes I think about, oh, like, what did my dad do with me in this situation, you know? And like, I mean, I feel like I turned out pretty well. So
I think you
shout out
did.
to Pops for doing a good job with me as a baby. I mean, both my parents had I'm an only child, like I said. So
Oh, so they were like super
oh, yeah.
focused.
and even now with Franklin, that's the first grandson. So like,
First grand.
yeah, they're all in. Yeah.
I love
So no, I'm excited. I'm super grateful to be with my dad and my son on Sunday. So
That's
I
awesome.
think it'll be a good time. Yeah.
If you could provide a piece of advice to a day one dad, like they just cut the umbilical cord,
Okay.
what's that one piece of advice that you would give to that day one dad?
I would say breathe as much as you can, support your baby mama as much as you can, and just enjoy it as much as you can. I mean, it's crazy. Like, Franklin was a tiny little thing, and now he's still pretty small, but like, he's a big little kid.
He's
He just
running.
went to the pediatrician.
He runs a 4.4. He's
in
not
90
little.
He's in the 91st percentile for height. Like, he's a
Wow.
big kid. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm 6'5". My wife is 5'7".
Jesus
so.
Christ, Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Volleyball. I can see that now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hopefully tennis or golf, some sport that pays a lot of money. But
Bro, I tell myself all the time I want my
or
child
just
to
get
play.
your college paid for.
Yeah, I want Penelope to have college paid for. So if you could play like base softball or golf, please, because that's something I would like to do too. But my wife is pushing my daughter to play volleyball because my wife played volleyball in high school. So
Yeah, there you go.
we might have a little talk.
For women, it's a lot better in the United States professionally. But
Oh, is it really?
for the men, it's either they just are starting a professional women's league, which I will be shooting. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
So yeah, they there's been one league that started. They just like randomly popped up and started this past year. But the one that I'm going to be working with starts in January.
Phenomenal. Can't wait to watch. We'll all be tuning in. You guys need to tune in too.
You'll be tuning in.
Support American sports because that's the only way we'll be able to keep our players here. And those are volleyball sports, or excuse me, those are Olympic sports as well, guys. So if you don't know, Olympic sports, those athletes don't get paid yearly unless they work a regular job like at Dick's. So support them.
Yeah.
I would now. This is the question because we could have you here for a long time, but we don't want to keep you for forever. But if we could,
all
if you
good.
could have anyone in the chair that you're in for some much needed father time, foot to the fire, send a text, send a pigeon, whatever it may be, who would you want to see in the chair?
Ooh, let me think about that. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I have a good amount of dads. Do they need to be like in some sort of like?
Dog, is any dad who wants to, who you feel
Nope,
like needs
just
some
dead.
father time, some time to themselves to talk about whatever it is, to bullshit if that is it. But however you want to spend your father
Yeah.
time, like have them come on here. Who would you think?
I think Reggie Bush would be dope. I think
Yes.
he's got 3 kids, and I've met all of them. They're amazing kids. They are amazing athletes. Also, by the way, like he's got a like 6-year-old.
Not
I was like, yeah, I was like, that's
running,
not surprising at all. It's Reggie fucking Bush.
running track and just demolishing. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guys. There's this guy that I work with in the volleyball world, Travis Merwerder. He has a podcast also, so he has a 1-year-old. But yeah, so I got plenty of people. If you ever need any suggestions on who to bring on the podcast,
All right, don't say that because we are going to use you as a Rolodex.
I can pass you some information.
Yeah, we appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
Stay on.
But Reggie would be cool.
Stay on the
You guys
call
would know
afterwards
Reggie
for further information. But yeah, dog, thank you so much, Daniel, bro. We could have, as you guys know, you're going to hear me say it. We say it every episode. We could have had you here for Forever Talking for Forever Man. We want to get you back to your family. We appreciate you for being here. Listeners,
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
all for tuning in wherever you're getting this content at. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment on what your favorite father time moment has been so far. And Clippers or Lakers? Which one? But that that's fucking funny. All right. With that being said, I'm your player partner, host of Most Your Country Cousin, Sir Winnie. This is my brother D'Amico. That's Daniel in the center, man. Thank you all for being here. Could have been anywhere else. Decided to rock out with the stream. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them because we love you. Have a good day. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, fellas.